Hi, Fab4 Futures fam. Let's get this nightly party started, and we're going to throw in a little gold for good measure tonight. We're going to start out with Nasdaq. Nasdaq was our laggard yesterday, and then today it's someone outperformed the other sector, so we just kind of flipped it on the script. And we've seen that time and time again where one sector is stronger and another sector is weaker, and then they rotate. And as long as that rotation's happening, and it's like hot potato, hey, you catch the potato, Russell, no, you catch the potato, Dow. And as long as someone's catching it and running with it, then you're all good. But if they're playing hot potato and no one's catching the potato and it's fallen to the ground, then we have a problem. Then we go red. So as long as we continue this nice happy rotation of just sharing the toy that's a bull, and they share it among each other, then we can stay in this nice uptrend. So I know today felt like a sell-off. However, we finished almost green on Nasdaq. So the end of the day, let's kind of look at it on the hourly. End of the day, we pulled back, but we did not lose this low of 93.2050. So just something to note. I know it felt harsh, and it did have elevated volume, but we did not lose that hourly low. So on the daily, we are holding this 12 EMA like a champ. Loss of the Nasdaq 12 EMA would be notable for me if that were to happen. And what's a loss? A candle close below. So if you have a candle, let's pretend like this is a candle. If you have a candle close and then the EMA is above, then that would be a loss of the EMA. As you can see here, the candles did not close below the 12 EMA. Sure, they touched below it and then it got bought up, lower wick, bought it, lower wick, bought it. So as long as we have candle closes above the 12 EMA on the daily, then we're trucking along. And we're going to still keep an eye out for volume, because there was some volume that came in at the end of the day, a little more so than normal. So last night we were looking at this area that Nasdaq was the first one making this lower low and then pulling back. So we pulled back and then we got a little EQ. We called that out in the room, and then we got a bull break. So despite this pullback, we're still in a higher high, higher low situation on Nasdaq 4 hour. And I'm kind of going to stay there with Nasdaq on the 4 hour. It gives me the most clarity. All right, let's look at ES. ES weekly, it is attempting to get over that 50 MA. We have one more day. So Friday's, how we close tomorrow will be important. Bulls will be looking for a lower wick of buying of the dip. And so they want to see the buying of the dip, and the bears would like to give it a high upper wick. So right now it's neither bullish nor bearish right now, and we are having a lower volume week, even though we have one more day of volume to add there. Let's just say it were to finish even with last week, that's still not a lot of volume happening here. So ES on the daily, we discussed a couple nights ago the Ttm Squeeze, and we fired green. And let's see how this plays out. So we said 8 to 11 candles after we fire green typically takes for the Ttm Squeeze to play out. And of course, the Ttm Squeeze is where you have compression of price by the Bollinger Bands and Keltner channel, where you're just really, really getting tight. And as we know, as things get tighter in place, and then they rip out, they go higher in space. Or when they get tight, then they can drop. We came up with a rhyme for that and I forgot. Okay, moving on. So ES on the hourly, it did lose that low of 3028. It's getting supported right now by the 50 MA, something to note. So we have this low of 3019.50. Then your next low would be 3000 psychological, then 2965.50. Your resistance 3065.50. And then your next resistance is not until 3137. YM. And also I want you to note, if we get a red candle, let's say it's next week, or let's say it's tomorrow and we sell off, it's not game over for the bulls. Look at this ugly candle. Let's look at RTY real quick. Look at that ugly candle. That was not game over for the bulls. So we had this huge upper wick of profit taking, but the bears did not confirm on the next candle. So and that was like that on a lot of charts. Here, this was a hideous candle. and the bulls were unable to confirm. So we're closing the week pretty strong here, and even if we were to get a huge upper wick, it's still not game over. So I'm constantly searching for perspective, not get too caught up on the hourly chart. So YM on the 4-hour, nice uptrend. We discussed the potential for a bull flag today. We pulled back a little bit more than the bulls would have liked. This is a little bit more than 50%, but we are holding the 12 EMA, and we got a lower wick of buying of the dip. Your next support is 25,000 psychological, then 24956. Your resistance is the high of this move, 25780. And then after 25780, it is 27075. RTY. RTY got a little bit more of an upper wick. So this is where that rotation happened. So when rotation happens and it hits a sector a little bit more than the other, because RTY has been pushing us up, it gets more of an upper wick. And that's what we see happening with RTY. RTY did not lose this low of 1377.40, nor has it had a candle close on the 4-hour below the 12 and 26 EMA. That's what I'll be looking for a sign that further consolidation could be incoming, and we did have increasing bear volume to note. So your supports are 1377.40 and then 1357.70. Your resistance 1453. We got that double top. Then your next resistance is all the way up at 1548. Then finally gold. So this is the weekly chart on gold. Had a little EQ going. I mean, it's just a tightening pattern. It's the best the bulls could hope in that we dipped down, made a lower low, and then made a nice spike up. So on the 4-hour, this gives the clearest picture for me. We got that lower low. Okay, so that's bearish, lower low, pushed up to a higher high. Now we need that higher low to be firmly established and to resume the trend upwards. And that's what the bulls will be looking for. So just something to note on gold, the 4-hour chart is giving me the most clarity. Well, I hope this helped a little. If not, you can always ask me a question, and I will be continuing to do these videos Monday through Thursday and posting them in the room and on Stocktwits. Happy futures trading.